The black tube, I go down here. Again, on your door frame, you just open the door and slide it down. And now, what I'm doing here is you can see my arms, my elbows pulling back. I'm working the backs of the shoulders, the upper back, the tricep muscles. Even the lower back and buttocks is coming into play. And I can get further around. Generally, I do 15 of these. And then I turn around and I do these stretches, which, again, work the triceps, but they really stretch out the neck. When you move them, they work the pectorals as well. And I do 10 on either side here. Again, working all the muscles. Now, next, I concentrate on the shoulder muscles because the shoulder is the least stable joint in the body. And as we get older, it becomes even less stable. It's unstable because it's the most mobile. It's held together with muscle tissue, and the muscles have to be tight to hold the top of the humerus against the scapula. So what I do is I get this particular tubing, which is 25 pounds when it's stretched to twice its length, and I do a rotational move. Just bring it across my chest. Now this is called internal rotation, and the pectoral, pec minor in particular, and the other shoulder internal rotators are working. And I do 10 of these. I do 15 of these to work the external rotators of the shoulder. And I do more on the external rotators because I don't want to work the pectoral muscles too much. With most of what we do, and I do the other side, and I do 10 on each side again. 10 in this direction, 15 going away, or external rotation. And I do more external rotation than internal rotation because the pectoral muscles get worked a lot. In modern life, we work the pectoral muscles driving, working the computer mouse. Much of what we do involves the pectoral muscles, and if we over-strengthen the pectorals at the expense of the upper back muscles, then we rotate and we become what they call round shouldered. So I work the shoulder muscles to keep them strong and stretched. And just like with the rest of the body, when you're contracting the internal rotators, you're stretching the external, and vice versa. Now, to work the deltoid muscles, which are the big shoulder muscles you see, the basketball players usually have those big muscles up here. Sometimes weightlifters, you'll actually see all the components of the muscle. They'll be striated, or they'll be separated into the muscle bundles. I don't have that myself. A lot of it becomes, when you're talking about bodybuilding, is genetic. And bodybuilders know that they have some areas that need more work than other areas in their body. But you want to make sure that the deltoids are strong because, again, they help to stabilize the shoulders. And when you do any kind of lifting, you want them to be strong so you don't strain your shoulder. Now, this is only about 10 pounds. And the way you work the deltoids is you don't come straight out with it. You have it slightly, maybe 15 degrees toward the front, because if you look at the shoulder blade, it curves a little toward the front. And you want it to be lined up when you do it, your arm and your shoulder. And then you come up, just like this. I do 15 of these. And be careful again that in the eccentric contraction, which is as the muscle is lengthening again, that you're doing it nice and slowly. You don't want to come up and then let it go and let the band pull you down, because that's only half the work. And in fact, the eccentric contraction, or the contraction when the muscle is lengthening, is more effective in strengthening the muscle than the concentric contraction, or when the muscle's shortening. So you do that. Now the deltoid is contracting up to about this point, and from the point where my arm is parallel to the floor, to 45 degrees. Higher is the upper trapezius muscle. And we want to keep those all strong. It also helps a little bit with the muscles on the side of the neck. It helps to strengthen. So now I've stretched out and strengthened the entire body, but this concentrates on the upper part of the body. I walk my dog an hour a day, so I don't feel that I need to strengthen my leg muscles. So but I do want them to be loose, and I particularly want my hips to be loose. So I will just get my leg and swing it. Now I've already stretched them out some when I stretched out the hamstrings and when I stretched out quadriceps. So I just do 10 of these, just easy swings. This way and that way. And also, you want to get hip rotation, because a lot of times people are tight on the inside of the thighs. So I'm going to use the balance ball here, the exercise ball. You can use a chair. It's probably easier to use the chair because the ball does move. But it does help using the stabilization ball. Because it moves around a little bit, it gives you a little bit extra exercise as you have to press your leg down and maintain your balance. It's important to keep your balance, work on your balance, because it's the #1 reason that older people wind up in the hospital from falls, is a loss of balance. And thousands of elderly people wind up in the hospital because of losing their balance and falling and breaking a bone. So this opens up the hips, it stretches the legs. Then I want to concentrate a little more on the quadricep muscle because I've already worked on the hamstring muscles. So in order to do that, for our purposes, I'll use the ball. But again, it's probably easier to use a chair. And I like to do it this way. There are many ways to stretch these muscles. And this is particularly good. As I press down on the ball with my foot, I'm stretching the quadricep muscle in the front. So I pull it back, push it back. It tends to want to come forward, unlike a chair. And lean down on this. I can feel a nice stretch in the front. You also do the runner stretch, which is like this. And again, you're helping your balance as well. And another exercise that helps the balance, and it's generally the last one I do, is crossing legs. Now this stretches the buttock muscles, also stretches all the muscles in the inner part of the thigh. And you can feel a nice stretch from this. And it's a nice balance exercise. The yogis do it and just stand there for a while. You do that in yoga. You can also do this, which is another way to check on your balance and help to build up your balance. So you can do those. That's pretty much my routine for the morning.